progressive overload and going to failure. So today I'm going to talk about both of these, but first of all we're going to tackle progressive overload. Right, out of these two lifts, which one would you say is progressive overload, the first or the second? Now, of course, most people are going to say the second, when in reality, if we're not put on the spot, a lot of people will say the first. Why? Because the first was more weight. The second was less weight, but more control. You see, progressive overload is not about the amount of weight that you can lift. That is ego lifting. If you are basing gym sessions on lifting more and more and more on every session, like I say, that's ego lifting. Now, don't get me wrong, lifting more is part of progressive overload, but so is tempo. Why? Because when you slow down on your lifts, you are putting more resistance, you're putting more tension on that working muscle. Therefore, you're going to grow. Therefore, progressive overload. When you lift with better form, you are putting more tension on that working muscle. Therefore, you're going to progress. Therefore, progressive overload. Like I say, if you're just throwing around the biggest weight possible, you're doing nothing but stroking your ego. And if you've got someone behind you assisting on every single lift, telling you to go, again, that's not progressive overload. Once again, that is ego lifting. Truth be told, you shouldn't be able to lift more weight every session, because probably about 10 years ago, I could incline press 50s. Now I can only do 62s. That is not a massive jump. If you lifted more in every single session, I'd be lifting the moon right now. But the fact is, I'm not lifting the moon. I am nowhere near lifting the moon. So we need to stop thinking that you need to lift more weight in every session. That isn't progressive overload. Like I say, tempo, form, execution, bracing, like controlling the lifts, that is as important, if not more so, than the weight that you actually lift. Going to failure. Now, most people again think this is going to failure. Now, don't get me wrong, some lifts, that will happen. You will be pushing away and it just won't move. That will happen in lifts like hack squats, presses, leg press. Certain lifts it is going to happen, it's unavoidable. But you should not be doing that in every single lift. Failure does not mean going to death like that. Failure means knowing when you've had enough. Literally, if you're doing 5, 6, 7 reps and they all look good, and then you start to slow down a little bit, more than likely you're not going to get that last rep. So a lot of the time it's not worth fighting it, it's not worth pushing it, because if you try and push that rep out just like I did that one, more than likely that's going to affect the rest of your session. It could even lead to injury. Or if you require someone spotting you on every single lift, again, you're probably ego lifting. So what you need to do, drop the ego, drop the weight. First of all, look at your tempo. Are you following the tempos on your program? Most of them will be 2 seconds down, micro pause, back up, micro pause. Are you following your tempo? Second of all, your form. Are you executing with good form as demonstrated on the videos? Thirdly, is your weight. Your weight is going to progress, but it isn't going to progress every single week. We shouldn't be aiming for personal bests every single week. In fact, we should, because a personal best is your tempo, a personal best is your form. It's not just the weight you lift. So, drop the ego, drop the weight, increase your form, work on your tempo, unless you are lifting like a complete fucking wet lettuce. You know who you are. You're going in the gym, you're doing 3 sets of 10, same weight, no intensity. Then all this doesn't apply. Fucking lift harder. Get some. Eat your food. Stop whinging. Fucking hell.